Hey everyone, welcome to the video. So we are just going to get started. So I already cleansed my skin and now I'm going with the Clearasil face pads to use them as a treatment for my skin just to help with any of my acne. And then I'm using the Teacher You face lotion as my moisturizer, and this is also going to act as my primer. I'm just going to pin back my hair and then we'll jump right in and get started. Now I'm using tape for my eyes just because I find it works the best. Definitely when I do not know what I'm going to do for an eye look. So make sure you always put the tape on the back of your hand to remove something sticky because your eye area is very sensitive. And do your best to line them up as evenly as possible. I'm using the Body Shop Matte Clay Foundation as a base for my eyeshadow. I like to use this because it's pretty matte and I find the foundation can stick to it pretty well. And I'm just blending that in with a concealer brush. So for today's eye look, I decided I'm going to use the BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette and the HudaBeauty Warm Up Sessions palette. Here I'm using the Body Shop White Kajal Liner as a base for the eyeshadow I'm going to use on top because I decided on a fun pop of color. You want to do this white liner thicker than you usually would because we're going to go in with the black. I'm using this teal shade on top as the pop of color. And what you want to do is just pack it right on top and try to be as precise as possible. But don't worry too much because we can go back in and clean that up with another eyeshadow. Now I'm going in with the Warm Up Sessions palette and using the matte white cream shade as the base for all over the lid. And just packing that on to get as much pigment as possible. And then using that to clean up the edge of the blue eyeliner as well. Then next I'm going in with the cooler brown shade from the palette. And this is going to be used to help to deepen up the crease and add some definition. And then next I'm going in with the warm orangey shade from the palette and using this to help to act as like a bronzer for the eyeshadow look and add just a little more dimension. Now I'm going back in with the same turquoise shade that we used before to help clean up the edge a little more and add a little bit of pigment. I'm going to spritz my brush with just a little bit of a makeup setting spray to help to add just a little more pigment and a little more depth into the eyeshadow. Here I'm going in with just a black eyeliner and creating a wing right on top of that blue, and this is helped to give a little more of a graphic look to the eye. now just remove the tape to see your nice sharp line. And now I'm going in with the Body Shop Fresh Nude Foundation in shade 55 and just tapping that in on my skin with a beauty blender. I like this foundation because it gives a nice dewy finish, and the coverage isn't too crazy or too full coverage. I prefer to have my foundations being a light coverage compared to a full coverage. And again, just blending that in with a beauty sponge and making sure to get it every inch of that 5 head. Now I'm using the concealer from LA Color. I like to apply with my finger, so I just apply it to the back of my hand and then smear it on with my finger. And again, I'm going to blend that out with a beauty sponge. And be careful going around the eyes by using the sharp end of the sponge. I believe the sponge is Real Techniques. Now I'm using the Hard Candy Sheer Envy powder. This is the banana color powder. I'm using that and tapping that in with a powder puff. I just recently got into using the powder puff for under my eyes, and I've been really enjoying it. It's been giving me a nice smooth finish to my foundation compared to using a brush. I'm just taking a large fluffy brush now to blend away any extra powder and to smooth it in other areas as well. And then next I'm going in with the MAC Clay powder from the Body Shop in shade 72. This shade acts as a bronzer for me, so I think it's perfect. Now I'm going back into the BH Cosmetics Take Me to Brazil palette. I'm using the bluer highlight shade to highlight the inner corner to give a nice pop. Then I'm going in and mixing two highlighters from the BH Cosmetics Spotlight Highlight palette and just using that to drag it in onto the upper lid just a little bit more. Now I'm using the Body Shop White Kajal Liner in my waterline and going right on top of that with the cream shade from the HudaBeauty palette to help set it. I like to use a cream eyeshadow on top of my white eyeliner just because it helps to give a more natural look compared to looking too stark and white. And here I'm just filling in my brows with a medium dark brow powder. I believe this is City Cosmetics. And yeah, just filling in my brows as I normally do. I later go in with a brow gel, but I didn't get to film that. I'm just curling my lashes and then popping on my lashes. And also going to use the Body Shop Lash Hero or Lash Sport Mascara to coat my lashes right before I pop on the lashes. Now I'm using the BH Cosmetics blush palette in the more corally shades because I believe it complements the turquoise really nice and gives a really fun pop of color to the cheeks. And then back into the BH Cosmetics Spotlight Highlight palette, I'm using the darker highlight shade to highlight up my skin and give a nice beaming glow. And I'm just going to set all that with a face mist. I'm just taking my sponge and tapping it around my face to help give a smoother finish after we sprayed it with the face mist. And then topping up my highlight. Now I'm taking the warmer brown shade from the Warm Obsessions palette and smoking that out underneath my lash line. And then going in with my mascara. For my hair for today, I'm keeping it pretty simple. I'm just going to put it into a messy bun. I could leave it down because the waves from my braid have it really cute and fun, but I decided to tie it up for today. So as you'll see, I have many attempts to get the perfect messy bun. And I don't really have many tips for it, just besides trying how it's going to look and pinning it in the right place and using the right amount of bobby pins. Now to finish off this look, I'm going in with the Body Shop Lip Shine in Apple Taffy. Just applying that to my lips for a nice glossy pout. And that is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed and hope to see you in the next one. Please like and subscribe to this video and leave a comment down below of anything you'd like to see from me in the future. Again, thank you for watching.